Welcome to Paranormal Almanac with your host, Kurt Sandvik. I'm your host, Kurt Sandvik, and on this week's edition of Paranormal Almanac, let's talk about secret societies yet again. But first, as always, we have shout-outs. I'm going to get right into it. Shout-outs go out to the patrons. Thank you so much to everybody that ever spends a penny on the Patreon or buys a shirt or any of the merch over on Dashery.com. It's paranormal-almanac.dashery.com for the merch if you want to check it out. But this shout out is for the patrons. Shout out to Seablue36, Sophie Alice the Babster, your local cryptid, Flory, Jen, Danny Darkcypher, Sarah Jane, Angie, Lisa Cervantes, Curious Hedgehog, Diana, Mr. J, George Berg, Casey the Pitbull, and all the puppies, especially Stitch. Deb B, GC, Newt MacGyver, B Melty, Avril, Loch Ness, not a monster, Stacy, Leviathan, Stiggy, and hey howdy hi, Johnny the Palmy, hey howdy hi, JT, Doogie Whore, Mike G, Tracy B, Jeff, Richard, Alec, Karen, Duran, Lori, Rebecca, Ann, Stephen Scher, hey howdy hi, Jane Ann, Jennifer, Heather G, Zuzus, What's It, Paula, Cassidy, Nico, Sharon the Mouse, hey howdy hi, Tortuga, Andy, Virginia Mailman, Tony the Magician, Vicky Crow. Oh, I almost messed it up. I just messed it up right there. Isabel, Jen, Amber, Tracy, Sandy, Paige, Couch, Scott, Andrea, Vanessa. If I was the devil. Elizabeth, Sherry, hey howdy hi, and a happy belated Art Muffin, Tim, East Clintwood, Kenneth, Alexandra, Zozo the Demon, Hayden, Cindy, Ashley, Robin, Lauren, Russell, Isabel, Audra, Dorian, Cindy, Jerry, Jeff. Uh-oh, I lost my spot. There we are. Jeff, Lawrence, the Lawrence Strawn, hey howdy hi, Veronica, Autumn, Nanashi, Todd, Jamie, and Elijah Hendrickson, Dan, Laura Pitts, and the one, the only, the amazing, the incredible, the rhyme animal, Gamer Fan. With a few special shout-outs, as always, to Joe Teague and to my boy Stitch, but a special shout-out also to my girl Rum. It was her gotcha day last week. So just the other day, yesterday? No, 2 days ago, I treated her to a T-bone steak and a day filled with walks and treats and belly rubs and everything you can imagine because she is the best, and I love her to death. So she doesn't get into much shout-outs, but she's definitely getting one this week. Alrighty, let's get right on into paranormal news because we got lots to get to, and I got to get to the bottom of these secret societies.
Have you ever seen Bigfoot riding on the back of Nessie while being sucked up into the sky by a UFO, all to the soundtrack of a choir of ghost cats being led by a black-eyed child? Is this story true? Well, there's only one place you're going to find out. Get all my news from Paranormal News. Listen carefully for the clues. The stories are strange and bizarre. It makes you wonder just who we are. This is Paranormal News. Paranormal News. There's something in the shadows. Take it away, Kurt.
I sure will, Buzz. Alrighty, the first story in paranormal news. This is unprecedented. Why the Pentagon's recent UFO file releases are so important. I know there's been disappointment relative to perhaps the nature of what's being released, but you have to understand The bureaucratic process. It's what we can be done immediately. It goes on to say that, as the X-Files famously told us, the truth is out there, but at the same time, inquiring minds are immersed today in finding out whether or not the proof is out there, specifically proof of UAPs. Let's skip ahead. Y'all know what the term UAP stands for. Mike Gold is president at Redwire Space, an innovative aerospace and defense company. In 2022 and 2023, he served on the NASA Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon Independent Study Team, or ATIP. Right? That's not ATIP. That's UAPIST. Sorry. A council of 16 experts whose diverse areas of whose diverse areas on matters relevant to potential ways to investigate UAPs. I'm going to get through it, I swear. Look, he used to be part of NASA's Associate Administration for Space Policy and Partnerships. He is now focused on UAPs. He spent 13 years at Bigelow Aerospace, which hopefully, as you know, Bigelow Aerospace is Bigelow, the guy that owned or owns Skinwalker Ranch. But his focus is the truth on UAPs, exposing the truth. We must be thorough in collecting information, fearless in making conclusions, and open to following the data, no matter how mundane or extraordinary the results may be. As the saying goes, the truth is out there. We just need to be bold enough and brave enough to face it. He said, I would say that I came out the same way I came in, and that objective and the wanting to follow the data. He goes on to say that there has been some unusual stuff that has come forward, but he wants the truth. He noticed that the 1972 Apollo 17 moon landing report included imagery showing 3 lights in a triangular shape that was flagged in recent Department of War NASA-related documents. NASA's protective participant in all of this. Very powerful in the fighting of the stigma. Yeah, that's true. They do want to fight the stigma. They feel a lot more comfortable when you've got the White House putting out some of the NASA imagery and saying this is indeed anomalous. And he's not wrong. That is one of the photos that I found was the most interesting in the last batch from the Department of War's UAP, whatever you want to call it, UFO files, is that one photo from Apollo 17. It was taken in December of 1972. It's on the surface of the moon. Yes, we went there. If you don't believe we went there, science is not your friend. It's on the surface of the moon. It's looking towards some like hills in the distance. And there are indeed 3 dots in a triangle shape that, the atypical triangular UFO 3 dots. It is exactly what you would think of when you picture a triangular UFO that has been, photographed. He said, he said, as I think about disclosure, we're absolutely in the disclosure process. Yep, I agree. This is what the White House documents are. You have to applaud this administration. This is unprecedented what's occurring. At the very least, I view this as evolutionary disclosure. It's a process of looking at the information objectively. I think when others use the term disclosure, it can be inherently attached to the revelation of the existence of non-human intelligence. But that's not how he views disclosure, and here's the problem. He said it's a process of looking at the information. It's a process where we are objectively evaluating information and then following that data and conclusions wherever they take us. That may be something extraordinary, but it may be something ordinary. The point is, we don't know. I kind of agree with that statement. I half agree with that statement. Look, we're beyond the point with all the data, all the evidence, all the videos, all the photos. We're beyond the point to be going like, well, I don't know if they're aliens, but they probably could be us. It could be us. It could be terrestrial. No, we are far past that point. Now, I don't believe that every UFO is seen is an alien. We have reverse engineered UFOs since the 40s. A large portion of those might be ours. And by ours, I mean Earth's. They might be reverse engineered UFOs, but they all came from actual UFOs, something extraterrestrial. He does say, I think the public could deal with the fact that extraterrestrials exist. Polls already indicate that they believe that. I also think the public can deal with the fact we've had an extraterrestrial crash retrieval program. All right, yes, now I'm now back on board with what he's saying. So he kind of contradicts himself a little bit, but he said the more challenging questions are where we came from, who are we, and what we know about the abduction phenomenon. Those secondary questions might be more difficult. What you can't do is keep it secret from Congress, because then there are no longer a democracy. So at a minimum, our elected officials have to be briefed. They have to know, and we have to have oversight. Kurt here, yes and no. The public needs to know. It is no longer just, well, the government knows what's best for us, so as long as they know, I'm fine with that. Fuck no, not even remotely. It is now time for full disclosure. And I do agree. I don't think disclosure is going to be, like I keep saying, it's not going to be one day Trump's going to come out and say, aliens are real. If he does, he's distracting from something else. It's going to be little by little, week by week, every one of these hearings by every one of these hearings, until everybody on the planet is like, you know, even my brother, who still to this day doesn't believe in UFOs, everybody on this planet would be like, well, yeah, of course aliens are real. And then that's disclosure. It is little by little. It is piecemeal by piecemeal. But at least something keeps coming. It may not be a faucet, but it's a drip, and I'll take that drip. At this point, anything is better than nothing. Yeah, I agree and disagree with that guy. But again, I do agree with the majority of it, which is keep giving us the information, keep giving us the data, keep giving us the photos and the videos, and let us come to our own conclusion. I don't need someone in the government to do it for me. Alrighty, up next in paranormal news, 3 new sightings of the Loch Ness Monster, not a monster, break last year's mark. The tail swished water over its head. That's right, 3 new sightings in Nessie over the past month bring the total number of, quote, official reports to more than were recorded in all of 2025. Now, that isn't including a lot of Ian O'Fadigan's reports, which I think is BS. I think he is the leading Loch Ness Monster, not a monster citer person that's reporting sightings in the world. And I will die on that hill. But the 5th official Loch Ness Monster sighting occurred in May. Since then, in a little more than 2 months, observers have recorded 4 more sightings, including 3 in July alone. There was the 9-year-old girl from Australia who made the most recent official sighting of Nessie, snapped a photo that was good enough to be added to the official Loch Ness Monster sighting register. Now, she was reportedly with her family on the bottom deck of one of the cruise boats on the loch when she took the picture. And she said is the head of the creature. Just 2 days prior to that sighting, a man visiting from Australia again reported that in the afternoon, he was standing at the shoreline near the castle when he saw the top of the dark green flap-topped head pop out of water. He, too, captured a photo of what he believes to be Nessie. Ooh, they have a link to the photo. I don't think I've seen this one. Hold on a second. I want to see the photo. No, yeah, there's something in the photo. I couldn't tell you, is it a rock or whatever, but I don't know, the context of where he was. He said the head was followed by 2 same-colored humps that emerged out of the water behind the head, which he thought would be the body. Then he saw ripple lines about 500 meters behind the humps and it made quite decent white waves, which he expected was from the tail swimming through the water. After the tail swished water over its head, then it swum back down below the water. He said he never saw it again for the rest of the day. 16 days prior to that, an 8-year-old girl from the Edinburgh area spotted a small dark object they believed to be about 6 feet long and 3 feet high. They also captured a photo and described the object, saying that if it was a boat, it would have been a very small rowboat, and it moved more like a speedboat or a jet ski in the water. I'm telling you, I gotta get there. I gotta get to Loch Ness. I gotta see this thing for myself. I want to see Nessie for myself. I want to do an episode of my podcast from a boat on the loch. I think it would be incredible. It's definitely got to happen. Manifest time. It's going to happen. Alrighty, up next, paranormal news. We've got a haunted real estate. I got to get like a haunted real estate, sound or buzzer to be like, ooh, haunted real estate time, but something better than that. But haunted historic mansion in South Carolina, once a funeral home, is up for sale. Take a look. Now, I had thought I had done this one, but this one just came out. Like, literally just came out on August 7th. But if I did, just listen to it again. It's a 6,800 square foot Victorian house that was a funeral home turned home for a paranormal investigator, for sale in downtown Marion. Jennifer Van Boskerk of Southern Liminal Society said that she decided to sell after running into red tape with the city about the restoration of the 1895 house. She bought the former Smith Brothers funeral home in December 2023 and began renovating the house that had been abandoned for 8 years. The 2.5 acres was overgrown. Neglect caused some damage, but most was caused by squatters and just plain nosy people wanting to walk around the historic and abandoned building. They trashed rooms, left clothing. Some of the embalming tools were even taken. But she saw hidden gems, intricate woodwork, turret, the original fireplace mantles, the East Lake Victorian locks, and 8 working fireplaces. This is actually, it's a gorgeous looking building. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a bummer that she ran into some red tape, but it is up for sale in Marion, South Carolina. The listing price, $265,000. It also comes with ghosts. There are children, a boy, a girl, an infant, a woman believed to be the standoffish first wife of Jesse Holiday, who built the house in 1895. She's experienced drawers opening with no one seemingly around, a woman in a Victorian-era dress, another wearing more modern clothing, and a boy floating outside a window. Ooh, that's cool. She said when she first went into the house, she told the spirits she was the new owner and assured them she knew this was their home. She addresses them like friends. She's been in this sort of work for decades, and she said she's rarely frightened. They're not happy about her leaving, but she said, I'm tired and broke. There we go. It is an absolutely gorgeous house. Huge. 2.5 acres for $265,000. Located at 619 Wilcox Avenue, Marion, South Carolina. Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I would love to live there. That's cool. Alrighty, finally for paranormal news. No, I agree and close. There we go. Exclusive. Brussels is keen to monitor UFOs under the radar. That's right. Brussels has signaled it's monitoring unidentified anomalous phenomena and has hinted at improving capabilities, according to documents seen by Euronews. The European Commission seems to have been monitoring unidentified anomalous phenomena under the radar since at least 2023, according to a document from the Commission's Defense Department seen by Euronews, which pertains to sky and space observations in Malaysia. It says, we are getting better at seeing UAPs and better identifying it as our technological capacities improve, but we need to get even better. Let's see. Y'all know what UAPs stand for. They used to be called UFOs. Yeah. Let's keep going. Euronews also identified a Malaysian father and son, amateur astronomers, internationally recognized by space agencies for their discoveries of the surfaces and activities on the moon in 2020, who reached out to the commission with a letter titled UAP Captures in the Airspace in Deep Space Using Our UV Infrared Telescope. They noted that all governments simply have no opinions on these, quote, UAPs when confronted about them, and said they appear to be flying very near to aircraft and important targets such as military and nuclear facilities. Wow, that's cool. I would like to take a look through a infrared telescope. If you guys don't know, a lot of people think that infrared and different waves of light are how we can see the paranormal and how we can see cloaked or stealth or whatever UFOs. So that's actually really cool. Alrighty, that about does it for paranormal news. Ghost Girls, let me get this out of the way real quick. I know a lot of you have been checking Tubi daily, as have I, and it's still not up. What's the deal, Kurt? I don't know. It's Tubi. They'll get to it. They swear. They're having some difficulties, they say. So Ghost Girls will be coming out on Tubi. I'll let you know when. Don't worry. But if you want to spend, I don't know, I think it's like $2 or something. If you want to spend the $2, you can go to Amazon Prime and buy the episode. I'm on episode 3, and I'm pretty sure it's like $2 if you really, really want to see it. I'm going to postpone the next Ghost Girls interview and the Ghost Girls watching party until it's on Tubi, because I still want to talk about it once it's out for everybody for free. I think that I know it's going to be a great episode. I have not watched it. I started watching it and then went, nah, I got to wait. I'm going to wait because I hate watching myself. And it starts pretty much once the girls get there with me. So I have not watched it yet. I'd like to do a live watch along with the patrons and everybody. But until then, I've been told it's a great episode. I've heard from a few people, not even Paramaniacs, random people, and friends and family and other people, that it was a phenomenal episode and I was the best part of the episode. So that's cool. Sorry, Ghost Girls. I mean, they loved you too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Ghost Girls, I'll let you know when it's out on Tubi. Okay, next, something I'm very excited that I got to do this past week. I was invited to a private party for Widow's Bay. If you don't know what Widow's Bay is, my absolutely favorite show in the world. I've told you all to watch it. If you haven't watched it yet, get out there and watch it. It's on Apple TV or Apple Plus, whatever it's called. It is incredible. It is the best acted, best written, best directed, best idea that I've seen in a very, very, very long time. I'm absolutely in love with this show. And I was lucky enough to go to a haunted hotel in Culver City, right across the street. Not even a street, like little courtyard from Culver Studios, which if you're a regular listener, I had a long time ago, I did an episode about the Culver Studios, is a haunted studio. So we're in this haunted hotel, gorgeous old hotel, and they have it set up like Patricia Sunset Cocktails. You walk in and there's a Patricia in her outfit with her tiara, and she's making punch. And then as the night goes on, well, it's quite like the episode. I don't want to spoil the episode. If you haven't seen it, watch the episode, and then you'll know what I mean by things take a turn. But they had the boogeyman, they had the clown, they had the hag, they had trying to be as generic as possible without spoiling things for anybody. They had so much from the show. A buddy of mine and I got to play the board game Daddy's Home from the show. It was the best. I have never been to a party where I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's cool. Holy crap, it's amazing. Like throughout the entire party. It was phenomenal. They had the card game Run. They had, like I said, the board game Daddy's Home, which I was just a giggling idiot. I was drinking and playing this board game. I lost, but that's okay. It was phenomenal. I cannot thank Katie Dippold for creating this show, this absolutely brilliant show. I cannot thank her enough. I gave her a set of, I made Widow's Bay rings, a full set of Widow's Bay rings, and I handed them to her at the party just to thank, a small thank you for such an incredible show. I can't thank Apple TV. I can't thank Widow's Bay, the production. I can't thank them enough for letting me go to this incredible party with the actors. All of them were there. Stephen Root, Matthew Reese, you name it. They were there. Kate O'Flynn. It was incredible. It was so much fun. Dale Dickey, everybody. It was so much fun. I cannot thank them enough for a wonderful opportunity. Please, if you haven't watched the show, watch it. My goal, my next manifestation is to be an extra on an episode next season. That is my manifestation. That and this house that I went to look at over the weekend, which is absolutely gorgeous. A tiny, small little house back in Burbank with a yard for rum. She would absolutely love it. But those are my two manifestations. But anyhow, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Secret Societies. We are back. Seriously, watch Ghost Girls too. Seriously, watch Widow's Bay, watch Ghost Girls. Tell me what you think about both of them. I'm on Threads talking about pretty much nothing but Widow's Bay. It's freaking brilliant. But anyhow, we are back. And I wanted to talk some more about secret societies. That's right, I've done an episode about the big ones. But this is my quest to find a cool secret society and not just a bunch of old men spanking each other in a cool building. No, my goal for this episode is to find a secret society that's rumored to exist, but without any proof. Then try to take over that society publicly, because the only way they could stop me is to come forward and, I don't know, sue me or send me some weird letter in the mail that's written in blood or something. But, how are you going to stop me from starting Kurt's version of whatever secret society unless you come forward to be like, hey, man, there's already an Illuminati. And I'm like, nope, I'm the Illuminati now. Just like that captain, that Tom Hanks movie, like, I'm the captain now. I'm the Illuminati now. Like, that's what I want. They're going to have to come forward. Or a bunch of weird men in robes are going to have to come to my door and be like, stop it. But, let's see what happens. But if by the end of this, I can find us, that's right, I'm including you all, a cool old secret society, I'll make merch. I'll make rings. I'm big into making rings now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head on over to my Instagram or Threads probably too. I've been designing and 3D printing rings. I started doing it for the Muppets Unscripted show locally, because I was like, man, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I want to give back to the Muppets. I made a couple Muppet rings, and they really seem to like it. So then I made some rings for one of my favorite bands, Middle-Aged Dad Jam Band. He didn't seem to like it that much. I made him for Puddles. He loved them. I handed out a bunch of Pee-wee ones for a bunch of people at a Pee-wee show and, like artists and stuff on the stage. They loved it. I made Widow's Bay ones like I was just talking about. They seem to really, really like them. So that's my big thing. So if I can find us a cool old secret society, I'll make rings. And, you can all join. And then let's just get really weird. Not like sexually weird. I don't want to be a member of one of those. I just mean like we have a dorky handshake and have to ride around in, I don't know, tiny cars during the full moon. Something weird, something fun. Anyhow, secret societies. Are they all evil? Are they all like National Treasure cool with hidden rooms and a bunch of old wood and soft leather chairs? Do they have the ability to control the world, or at least hold the secrets? Like all the secrets, like where's the Holy Grail? Who shot JFK? Like all of the good stuff, From like The Rock, the little book in The Rock. Boy, that's 2 Nicolas Cage movie references in one sentence. What do these probably old white rich men do in secret? Are all their rituals just excuses to touch each other's butts? I want to know. Look, I just redid another rewatch of, I just rewatched again The X-Files from beginning to end. I do it every couple of years. It's obviously one of my favorite shows. The X-Files made secret societies seem like they ran the world, that they were more in charge than presidents and kings. But is there any truth that I can find about any cool secret societies in reality? I gotta find one. And look, if you're a secret society that still remains secret after this episode, just know I can keep a secret. Look, I never told anyone that my junior high school friend Johnny only liked to swim in pools because he would hang out in front of the pool water jets, and that made him feel funny in his swim trunks. Okay, sure, I just told that secret now, but that was like 30 years ago. I give it like 20% odds he's still doing that now. Anyway, my point is, I can keep a secret if you let me into your secret society and it's all cool and like, like they're like, hey, Kurt, look, here's an alien body. And I'm like, holy shit. And they're like, yeah, don't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody. Like, I won't take secret photos. I won't wear those Google goggles or whatever the fuck they're called. I can keep a secret, guys. But my point is, how cool would it be to be a member of a secret society that really did have all of the answers? Now, if you heard the last episode, we all know about the Illuminati, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, the Odd Fellows. Maybe I talked about the Bohemian Grove. If I did, the Bohemian Grove, I got a poster. They actually made posters in the 70s for the Bohemian Grove, and I was lucky enough to get one at an estate sale. So I've got secret society posters up in my wall. You also know about, what's the other one? The Harvard one. Skull and Crossbones. And if none of those sound familiar at all, listen to my old episode about secret societies. But what else is out there is my point. I wanted to keep deep diving. I wanted to fall down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Wait, one more second before I get into these lesser-known secret societies. Just know, I am 100% skipping over all of the racist, Nazi, dumbass ones because, well, fuck them. So if you're a member of one of them, and if you aren't sure if it's racist, look around. Do you see a bunch of old guys in white pointy hats? Or swastikas? If you answered yes, you're in a racist cult. Get out now. All right, with that warning out of the way, I really wanted a deep dive to see if there is any proof out there, other than like tinfoil hat conspiracies, is there any proof out there of a very cool secret society? Let's find out now, because we're going to start with the Seven Society, which sadly isn't just people sitting around watching the movie Seven trying to spot me in the background. No, the Seven Society was founded in 1905 to be the secret society of the University of Virginia. Now, members are only revealed after their death when a wreath of black magnolias in the shape of a seven is placed at the graveside. Okay. Good start. That is cool. Theoretically, nobody could know, or might know, that you were a member of the Seven Society, and then they go to your funeral and they're like, oh shit, there's one of those black magnolia sevens on Kurt's coffin. Was he a member of the Seven Society? Good on him. Well, let's find out if they're actually cool or good. The bell tower of the University Chapel chimes at 7-second intervals on the seventh dissonant chord when it is 7 past the hour, and a notice is during the funeral, that is, and a notice is published in the university's alumni news. And they say, and I don't know what this means, and often in the Cavalier Daily. I assume they just mean in the daily paper. Now, the most visible tradition of the society is the painting of the logo of the society, the number 7, surrounded by the signs for Alpha and Omega, and the infinity logo, and sometimes several stars upon many buildings of the ground of the university. So that's kind of cool. You're walking around and you see this cool little 7 with the Alpha and Omega, or a 7 with the infinity, or 7 with a bunch of stars around it. That's the national treasure shit that I'm talking about. I'm into that. I kind of want to walk around the university and see if I can find these 7. But who started it? Well, that was a rabbit hole that was a waste of time. No one really knows. I mean, I'm sure someone knows, but not me, and it's definitely not on the internet. There is no clear history of the founding of the society. There is a legend that of 8 men who planned to meet for a card game, only 7 showed up. So they formed a society. All right, it's kind of a lame beginning. You should have been like, 8 men showed up for a 7-member card game or 7-member game, so they had to kill one of the members. Make it about death or mysterious, or they had this mysterious card game that only 7 could survive. Make it something cool, not just like, where's Bill? We need 8 people to play bridge, and Bill didn't show up. Well, this sucks. What are we going to do now? You want to create a secret society? Yeah, all right. Like, not the best legend. Other histories, though, claim that the misbehavior of other secret societies is the reason they wanted to create their own. All right, I can get behind that. There are a few on here where they were like, you know what, fuck the Freemasons. I'm going to make my own. I'm going to take my ball and go home, that kind of a thing. That's a perfectly fine way to start a secret society. The only known method to successfully contact the Seven Society is to place a letter at the Thomas Jefferson statue, which is inside the university's historic rotunda. Now, accounts differ on the exact placement of the letter. It's either on the base or in the crook of the statue's arms, but my guess is it needs to be by the very ginormous sign of the Seven Society, which is painted right there, right in front of the statue of Thomas Jefferson. You can see this photo online. All right, the other thing about a secret society that I want to know is, are they still active? These guys? Yep, I found this. They issued a letter to UVA's class of 2024. So, if they were around in 2024, there's a damn good chance they're around now. They're known for donating to scholarships, clubs, and a well-regarded professor on campus. Always in the sum that features the number 7. Okay, they seem to be harmless, and they seem like a fun time. I think that's a good way to start this episode. I couldn't find anything about their rituals, which is another thing that I wanted to know. What are the rituals in the secret society? Because again, I just don't want a bunch of old guys spanking me on the bare ass. I just don't want that. Not again. But let's keep going, because I bet all the secret societies on this episode aren't well-meaning secret societies that, you know, give to charities and scholarships and clubs and stuff, and that they started because someone forgot to go play cards. I want a cool, more evil secret society. All right, up next, let's keep on keeping on. We have the Improved, Benevolent, and Protective Order of the Elks of the World, which, Kurt, here is way too long of a title. You know, the thing about a secret society, it's got to roll off the tongue. The New World Order, the Seven Society. Like, it's got to just roll off the tongue. But for this one, we go back to 1897 when two black men, it says it in every article, so I'm just saying it, Arthur James Riggs and Benjamin Franklin Howard in Cincinnati were denied admission to the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks of the World, which was an organization, another secret society that's not secret at all, founded in 1868 with the goal of serving those in need. So they went there, and the old white guys were like, oh, no. You're black. And they went, well, all right, fuck you then. And they added the word improved and started their own. Okay, I'm back on board with the name, and I think that's hilarious. They literally went, I'm sorry, Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks of the World. We can't join because we're black? Well, guess what? We're the Improved, Benevolent, and Protective Orders of the Elks of the World. Cool as shit. I like these guys. So I guess what that means, if I can't get into the Bohemian Grove or the Illuminati, I can just start the Improved Bohemian Grove or the Improved Illuminati or the Not Stupid QAnon, which is way better than the current QAnon, and just start my own secret society. See, that's good information to have when I'm trying to start a secret society. But back to them. So yeah, Arthur and Benjamin, they started it. Boom, it took off. The new organization was once at the center of the United States black community. In 1907, the Seattle Republican wrote, "It is claimed by the members and officers thereof that this is one of the most thriving secret societies among, quote, Afro-Americans of the city." During the era of segregation, the local Elks Lodge was one of the few places where black men and black women could socialize. So these guys are cool as shit, and I love this secret society. I gotta know, what rituals do we know about for these guys? Okay, I found this. The BPOE, which is what they call themselves, because a lengthy title, Rituals include formal lodge openings, an initiation sequence involving passwords, grips, and specific signs alluding to the antlers of an elk, and patriotic observances. The obligation of this society, a solemn vow taken by candidates upon joining a regular lodge, emphasizing fidelity, charity, and brotherhood. All right, seems harmless enough. And I like how they're like, and there's like a secret society, there's a secret sign alluding to the antlers of an elk. We all know what that secret sign. If you do like, you know, you put your hands out, like spread your fingers, and then put them on either side of your head to make it look like antlers, I bet money that's what that is. They say they have a formal dress code, such as tuxedos, and an altar draped in royal purple and white, which is the official colors of the order. I guess that's good to know. So I'm going to need to come up with a dress code, which I'm going to be pretty lenient on our dress code. An altar? Yeah, we're going to need an altar. It's going to have to be cool as shit. And I guess I'm going to have to come up with the official colors of the order. This is all good information to know. So are they still active? Yep. And not so secret, they have over 500,000 members and 1,500 lodges in the world and counting. It says online that today the society continues to sponsor educational scholarship programs, youth summer computer literacy camps, and parades, as well as community service activities around the world. Another fun one, but secret society. That one, not so secret. 2 for 2 on the not so secret society. Basically doing good, but let's try again and move on and see if I can find a secret society. How about the Grand Orange Lodge of Ireland? Ooh, Ireland, I'm into this one. This could be fun. Let's find out together. The Grand Orange Lodge of Ireland was founded in 1795 and more commonly known as the Orange Order. It gets its name from William of Orange, yeah, makes sense, who is a Protestant priest who later ruled over Britain and Ireland with his wife Mary. Why was it formed? Well, rabbit hole time. After the Battle of the Diamond, which was a clash between Catholics and Protestants outside of Lugal, I'm not saying Lugal correctly, sorry, a small village in modern-day Northern Ireland. Its purpose was to basically protect Protestants. The thing was, Protestants were the majority in Northern Ireland, but were outnumbered by Catholics in the rest of the country. So by the mid-19th century, secret societies were completely banned in Ireland, with an 1823 act declaring such groups as, quote, an unlawful combination and confederacy. Now, given this, George Williams Fredericks Villiers, who is the Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, attracted the ire of the Waterford News for supporting the Orange Order in 1849. That paper actually wrote, Lord Clarendon has been holding communications with an illegal society in Dublin for upwards of 10 days. Bum, bum, bum. The Grand Orange Lodge, with its secret signs and passwords, has been plotting with his excellency during the whole of that period. It may seem strange, but it is a fact. All right. So word about the secret society got out way back in 1849, essentially, is what that's saying, and people were none too happy. What do they do there? Well, I'd looked into it, couldn't really find much, but let me tell you, all lodge meetings commence with the reading of the Bible and prayers that non-practicing Protestants, Roman Catholics, and people of other faiths, and none, may become wise unto salvation. Oh, man. I mean, I knew it was going to be a religious organization, but that's not a fun, secret, evil society. Most jurisdictions of the Orange Group require the spouse and parents of potential applicants to be Protestant. Although the Grand Lodge can be appealed to make exceptions for converts. Members have been expelled for attending Roman Catholic religious ceremonies, and in the period from 1964 to 2002, 11% of those expelled from the order were expelled for their presence at a Roman Catholic religious ceremony, such as a baptism, service, or even a funeral. All right. Kind of a dick move. Apparently, they're still going on. So who can join? Well, prospective members of the order must be adult men who, again, are Protestant. Responding to the question of whether this group is anti-Roman Catholic, the group website, yep, there's your next problem. If you've got a secret society, don't have a website that Kurt can go to because, again, not fucking secret. But their website says Orangism is a positive rather than a negative force. It wishes to promote the Reformed faith based on the infallible Word of God and the Bible. Orangism does not foster resentment or intolerance. Condemnation of religious ideology is directed against church doctrine and not against individuals' adherents or the members. Blah, 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 bitty freaking blah. Secret society, you should have a website, but it should be a cool fucking website. Like if you know the right 3 things to click on a normal looking, vacuum salesman website, then it takes you to this cool secret page where like the background turns all black and then a triangle, like a pyramid comes out at you and you got to type in your code. Like it's got to be a cool website. It can't just be, well, have you checked out our website? It's www.secretsociety.com. Hold on. I want to see what happens if I go to www.secretsociety.com. Secret Society. I spelled society wrong. I knew I was going to. Society.com. It's spinning. Wheels are spinning. Oh, the site cannot be reached. SecretSociety.com does not exist. Alrighty, someone asked Google. What is the website for Secret Society? There are a few different organizations and platforms with this name. The main lifestyle and influencer network platform can be found at The Secret Society, while the official site for live party band is Secret Society Live. All right, let's go to Live Secret Society, or let's go to the Secret Society. Nope, that's just a giant ad for a telephone. That's not fun. The Secret Society. Who are we? We're the first marketplace for blah blah blah. Don't like it. The first marketplace for influencers and lifestyle individuals. Well, I'm a para-influencer. Why can't I join? Yeah, all right. So there's not just a website for Secret Society that's cool and you got a back door into it. And especially not these guys. All right, so back to them. Back to the orange dudes. Any cool secrets or rituals? Short answer is no, not at all. The long answer, members advance through structured degrees such as the orange and plain, with separate associated bodies like the Royal Arch Purple involving distinct internal rites. Traditional and historical pamphlets, yes, they have pamphlets. Again, don't have pamphlets if you're a secret society, or if you do, again, make them so cool that only the smart people would go like, oh, I was going to do a math equation, but I don't want math in our secret society. Like, make it cool, though, is what I'm saying. Like, you got to walk down this street, and if you look on the third door, right above the third door, you'll see a little thing, and that code is blah, blah, blah. Like something cool like that. I want national treasure shit, not a dumb pamphlet. It says, God, man, it makes me angry. Don't hand out pamphlets to your secret society. The pamphlet outlines dramatic tests for new recruits, which have historically included kneeling or lying near mock coffins. Ooh, scary. Navigating symbolic obstacles like the Jacob's Ladder, and taking strict oaths of secrecy backed by severe traditional penalties. Okay, that one. I was like, oh, tell me more, pamphlet. What are the severe traditional penalties if I say, I'm an orange guy? Nope, nothing. Nothing cool, nothing scary. You're just booted out. You were just getting good, orange guys. Come on. What else do they do that's not secret at all? Well, on the 11th night, bonfires are lit across Northern Ireland on the night of July 11th as a community tradition preceding the main event parade, anniversary parades. Yep, they got parades. Is it still going? Yep. Again, it's not so secret. The Grand Lodge of Ireland has 373 members. The Orange Institution in Ireland has the structure of a pyramid. All right, that's kind of cool. At its base are about 1,400 private lodges. They mean like a pyramid scheme. It's not actually like a pyramid building. Every Orangeman belongs to a private lodge. Each lodge sends 6 representatives to the district lodge, of which there are 126. Depending on the size, each district lodge sends 7 to 13 Oh my God, you guys are boring. The Grand Orange Lodge is still active today. With clubs around the world, members nicknamed Orangemen hold marches every year to mark William and Mary's victory over the Catholic. Man, you guys gotta let it go. Listen, come on, secret societies. I want to have to go to the dark web, answer 3 riddles to find out that I have to lick Steve Gutenberg's butthole to become a member or some other freaky shit. So far, it seems like secret societies are pretty fucking boring. So let's keep going. You know what? At this point in my outline, I was like, Kurt, you're not going back far enough in time. So let's go all the way back to the 10th century to the Brethren of Purity. Alrighty, I gotta say, the name I'm not crazy about, but let's give it a chance. They're also known as the Brethren of Sincerity. No, not much better. Now, this one was a very strict, very secret, clandestine society of Muslim philosophers, I almost said photographers, Muslim philosophers and scientists in Basra who produced an encyclopedic compilation of esoteric and secular knowledge. Man, it started so cool. To this date, some members of the Ikhwan are known. It's not easy to work out exactly who the members are or how many members there are. They know it was a group of writers. Okay, finally a secret. The members referred to themselves as the Sleepers in the Cave, which was a hidden intellectual presence. In one passage, they gave as their reason for hiding out their secrets from the people. All right, so these guys basically, let me break it down for you. They wrote a lot of books, an encyclopedia, if you will, of books. Gatherings featured ethical lectures, philosophical speeches, and the study of astronomy and astrology. So 10th century, that's some pretty fucking cool stuff to do. That was some woo-woo shit to say. You can't talk about science. You can't talk about math. You definitely can't talk about astrology. Yet these guys not only did it, they wrote books about it. So are they still around? Nope. They dissolved long ago after publishing their famous philosophical encyclopedia, the Razal Ikhwan al-Safa. Sure, it means the Epistles of Brethren of Purity, which is 52 comprehensive epistles covering mathematics, music, astronomy, ethics, and theology. Now, as boring as all that sounds, again, that's pretty freaking cool that at a time when this would have gotten you killed, they not only met to talk about it, they wrote books about it. So, yeah, they were a group for math nerds. In today's day and age, not the coolest, but hey, at least they were secret. At least we're finally getting to the secret part of secret society. They weren't handing out pamphlets. Sure, they wrote encyclopedias. Maybe they did door-to-door encyclopedias like they used to do in the 70s and 80s, but people still to this day don't know exactly who they were. So let's keep going. How about the Osirian Brotherhood? Started in the 1800s, and as you may have guessed from the name, Osirian, Osiris. It's about the revival of Egyptian ways. That seems cool. That seems very cool. And because of that, I accidentally hit the mouse, and now I have to go and find where we are. All right, here we go. So tell me more about the Osirian Brotherhood, Kurt. Well, that's about it. Nothing about rituals. Nothing about members. It's not around anymore. Nothing about nothing. I finally get to one that seems cool. Egyptian. That's a cool theme. Everybody wearing like Egyptian headdresses and shit, and there's mummies, and you walk into a pyramid, and it's really spooky, like Scooby-Doo shit. Nope. No idea. Nothing about it. But, again, good note. Good thought. I like the idea of it being themed. So we should do a themed secret society. Okay. Keeping that in the back of my mind. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Next up is the Hellfire Club. No, not Stranger Things. For this one, we go back to the 18th century to an elite British social network, which rumored to engage in heavy partying. Oh, check. Hedonistic lifestyle rituals. Check, check. And mock religious ceremonies. All righty, now we're talking. This is secret society crap. 1718, the first recorded club was started by Philip, who was the Duke of Wharton, of course, in London to mock conventional morality and religion. Now we're talking. Then, Dashwood's Order, which about 1740 to 1760s. Sir Francis Dashwood established the Monks of Medmenham, later dubbed the Hellfire Club. Much better name. I'm so glad they didn't stick with the first one. Hellfire Club, that's a cool one. Members used titles like brother, it's kind of boring, and practiced a satirical, hedonistic lifestyle. Now, they met irregularly from around 1749 to around 1760, possibly up to 1766, based on historic records of the time. Now, their activities included, again, mock religious ceremonies, partaking of meals featuring such dishes as the Holy Ghost Pie, or the Breast of Venus, and the Devil's Loin, while drinking Hellfire Punch. Full stop. At this point, Kurt was like, I'm sorry, Hellfire Punch? All right, historical records, you know what they ate. The Holy Ghost Pie, the Breast of Venus, blah, blah, blah. What is in the Hellfire Punch? This is what I need to find out, because, spoiler, couldn't find out. I need to find the recipe for Hellfire Punch, and I'm going to make it. I already made milk punch from Thomas Jefferson's recipe, I think it was. That patron, that Paramaniac Sherry sent to me, and it was freaking delicious. If you guys haven't tried milk punch, I have a YouTube video about it. It's fantastic. So I got to find the recipe for Hellfire Punch. Okay, let's continue on. Then came the Irish chapter, which is a separate Irish Hellfire Club. It met on Montpelier Hill near Dublin, gathering a dark local reputation for extreme carousing and the legends of devil worship. Now we're talking. Clubs were rumored to have served as a meeting place of persons of quality who wish to partake in society's taboo activities. That's right. Socially taboo activities. Members were often involved in politics. Wow, big shocker there. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of a secret society. Now, unfortunately, it's not exactly too secret. I'll tell you some members in just a minute. But let's pause for a second to appreciate that these guys were actually having some debauchery, taboo-esque fun. Now, my secret society, we don't have to be all spanky and naked and, slapping boobs or anything. But it's nice to know there are societies that were out there in the 1700s that were like, heck yeah, let's eat Holy Ghost pie, drink some Hellfire Punch, and then F all night long. Cool. Dig it. I'm on board. Now, membership. Oh, spam is calling me. Sorry. There we go. Membership allegedly included prominent politicians, members of parliament, no surprise there, and notable figures like Benjamin Franklin. What? How did he get wrapped up in all this? Well, turns out he was a friend of Dashwood's. That's all it took. And he was like, you guys are doing what over there? I'll be right over. Rumors alleged that actual black magic, satanic worship, and human sacrifices happened at these events, these rituals. But Most historians say that kind of got blown out of proportion in the 17 and 1800s. Like legend just grew about them, and it really wasn't that bad. They said it was definitely aristocratic debauchery, so a little spanky, a little sexy, heavy drinking, and elaborate sexual or political satire. Oh, I kind of got nerdy towards the end there. Members dressed as monks addressed each other as brother and toasted pagan deities like Bacchus and Venus under the motto, Fais ce que tu voudras. Do what thou will. Fais ce que tu voudras. There we go. Do what thou will. Meetings took place at the Medmenham Abbey and deep inside Chalk West Wycombe Hellfire Caves. Now we're back on board. They had their own caves. And the caves featured chambers like the Inner Temple. That's cool as hell. Is it still around? Sadly, no, they're not still active. They dissolved in the 1760s. However, some offshoot student dining groups like the Phoenix Common Room at Oxford claim a direct historical lineage to the Hellfire Club. And the historic Hellfire Caves are still open as a public tourist site. You can go there. You can walk through Hellfire Club caves, chalk caves. They use them like during the Blitz and the bombings and stuff. But you can go to these caves. All right. We're an hour into this episode, and this is the first cool one to try and resurrect. But here's the problem. Sadly, people only think you're starting like a Stranger Things LARPing group because it's called Hellfire Club. And yes, that's where Stranger Things got the name. I doubt it would be as sexy as them anyway. So let's keep looking. Let's see what else we got, all right? That's an option, though. Keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, this next one just might be one of the oldest secret societies ever, but spoiler, it's not freaking real yet, because I could make it real. It's called the Priory of Sion. It was a secretive European society allegedly found in 1099. Wait, what? It's believed to have guarded mysteries of the Holy Grail and Christ's bloodline. Wait, didn't you already talk about this one? Nope. 10th century, that was the Brethren of Purity. This is another 10th century one, and it seems pretty freaking cool. It was believed to guard the mysteries of the Holy Grail and Christ's bloodline. The problem is, it was actually a hoax by Pierre Plantard in 1956. Womp womp. In the 60s, Plantard began claiming that he was a self-styled order and was the latest front for a secret society founded by crusading knights. That's right, Templar Knights, Godfrey of Bouillon, on Mount Zion in the Kingdom of Jerusalem in 1099. He did it that they were part of the historical monastic order of the Abbey of Our Lady of Mount Zion. And he just, anybody that would listen, he'd be like, yeah, you want to know about my secret society started by the Knights Templar back 1099? I'm now the head of it. How cool is that? He even created independent evidence. So during the 1960s, they created and deposited a series of false documents. The most famous of which was entitled Dossier Secrets d'Henri Lubenon, the secret files of Henry Lubenon. They put that in the Bibliothèque Nationale de France in Paris. During that same time, he commissioned Descharets to forge 2 medieval parchments. So he started planting all this stuff to be like, you don't believe me? Go look in your records. Maybe you'll find something. No, look over there. No, lower. No, in that box. Look over there, the one that's not dusty at all. Yeah, look, you found one. Now, these parchments contained encrypted messages that referred to the Priory of Zion. It was all nonsense, though, unfortunately. There was a guy that said, oh my God, I found this parchment inside a pillar while renovating a church in Rennes-le-Château in 1891, and we found it. We've had it all this time. No, they didn't. It was fake. They were part of it as well. So the media got hold of this. Books got hold of it. it got out there. They were talking about the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they were like, oh, people are going to talk about this real thing. They'll also talk about my parchments. So they did that. They faked the parchments, and media loved it. They're like, oh my God, there's a secret society known as Priory of Sion. It's back in 1099. Get this. Had a Grand Master including Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. It created the Knights Templar as its military arm and financial branch. Like, he went all out. He talked about what happened between 457 to 751. He talked about the throne of France. I mean, he went all out. But he faked it all. It's not true, sadly. There was a guy in, hold on, let me get to this part. December 27, 2002, an open letter announced the revival of the Priory of Sion as a traditional esoteric society, which stated the commanders of Saint-Denis, Milieu, Geneva, and Barcelona are fully operative. According to the tradition, the first commandery is under the direction of a woman. Bum, bum, bum. So they tried to modernize it. They tried to bring it back, knowing full well it was fake. They even went so far to say, Sondri, who is an independent researcher, Laurent Actonovo Buchholzer, sure, why not, said, I have personally met this Gino Sondri, and on occasion I had the opportunity to have a really good talk with him, but I think he's really seeking attention. He seems to be something of a mythomaniac. I like that term. That's the only reason I kept that whole fucking thing in, because he's a mythomaniac. So apparently if you make up a bunch of crap, you too could be a mythomaniac. That is the Paranormal Almanac word of the day, mythomaniac. Since 2016, Marco Rigamonte is claimed to be the Grand Master of the Priory of Sion. You might be thinking, wow, this sounds pretty fucking cool. It had Egyptian stuff. It had, Da Vinci. It had Illuminati. It had Knights Templar. Why hasn't someone ever made a book about it, Kurt? Well, they did. It's called Da Vinci Code. That's right. It inspired the Da Vinci Code. Sadly, there are a lot of people online, even knowing it's a fact that this is fake and this guy made it up in the 50s. There are people online that go, oh, yeah, that's just what they want you to think. That's what the government wants you to think, that they're fake, that it didn't happen, that this guy made all this shit up in the 19th. No, it's real. Sorry, tinfoil hat guys. It's not real. But remember this one for the end of the episode, but no rituals, not even real. The secret to this one is that it's fake. So let's keep trying to find a good one for the end of the episode to try and resurrect or take over. Up next, we have the Black Hand. Cool. Love it. Officially known as the Unity of Death. Boom. Off to a strong start. This one is, or was, a secret military society who first met on September 6, 1901, but officially formed May 1911. It was formed by the officers in the Army of the Kingdom of Serbia. It was famous for his alleged involvement in the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Now, if you guys don't know the story of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his assassination attempts, go back, find that episode. I've talked about it. It's a funky story, guys. He was real. No, I'm not. I was going to go into it real brief. No, just go find the episode. It happened in 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand. It's freaking cool. It triggered World War I. They also were responsible, or thought to be responsible, for the earlier assassination of the Serbian royal couple in 1903. So these guys, this secret society, they did some shit. They were a society dedicated to unifying all South Slavic territories under Serbian rule through revolutionary action. These guys had no problem being a secret society that would kill the elite. It was led by Colonel Dragutin Dmitrijevic. The organization recruited members from the Serbian military and intelligence services, operated with tacit government support. Their ultimate goal was to create a greater Serbia that would include Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, a bunch of territories in the southern Slavic populations. Their most consequential action, again, I kind of mentioned it already, happened on June 28th, 1914, when they assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Now that is a big secret society, like, whoa, these guys did some shit. To ensure secrecy, members rarely knew much more than the other members of their own cell, and never, maybe possibly one superior above them, but never anything more. So if there's 9 cells, you would have no idea who the members were in the 8 other cells. You might know who your superior of your cell is, and you might not. And new members swore the oath. You can do this too. Here we go. If you want to be a member of the Black Hand, I state your name. By entering into the society, do hereby swear by the sun which shineth upon me, by the earth which feedeth me, by God, by the blood of my forefathers, by my honor and my life, that from this moment onward and until my death, I shall faithfully serve the task of this organization, and that I shall at times be prepared to bear for it any sacrifice. I further swear by God, by my honor and my life, that I shall unconditionally carry into effect all of its orders and commands. I further swear, boy, there's a lot of further swears in this. I further swear by my God, by my honor and by my life, that I shall keep within myself all the secrets of this organization and carry them with me into the grave. May God and my brothers in this organization be my judges, if at any time I shall wittingly fail or break this oath. That ain't bad. Now that is the good basis for an oath. You know, it needs some fine tuning. There's way too much further swears. Let's shorten it down a little bit. How about one swear? You get one swear. Every further swear, people just want to go get some drinks and some hors d'oeuvres. We don't need all the further swears. Alrighty, the ritual. I found some rituals for these guys. The dark room. The new member entered a pitch black room alone. That's it. Didn't it start so cool? Weren't you like, oh shit, here we go? Nope, that was it. You just go into a dark room by yourself. I mean, yeah, it'd be a little scary. It's dark. What's going to happen? Someone going to jump out at me? No, nothing happened. I can come back out. I'm a member now. Oh, all right, cool. I further swear that could have been better. The altar table. A table covered in a black cloth sat in that room. That's it. Resting on the table were a dagger, a revolver, and a crucifix. A coat of arms featuring a death's hand, a bomb, and a vial of poison, and a hand holding a flag was also part of the group symbolism. It wasn't even in the room. I was like, oh, shit, this is cool, man. They're going to have a table with a dagger and a revolver and a crucifix, and you got to pick the right one. If you pick the wrong one, boom, you're dead. Like, nope, nothing. Ooh, we got a death's head and a bomb and a vial of poison. Oh, it's just a painting? All right, whatever. It's on a flag? Okay, whatever. They said the masked figure, a silent masked member of the leadership, stood in the room to represent the ominous authority of the group. Okay. The silent handshake. After the candidate spoke the strict oath of loyalty, the masked leader shook their hand in silence and then left without a word. All right. See, all this starts really cool and gets lame uber quick. The blood oath, the pledge. Members swore by God, the sun, the earth, their ancestors' blood, their honor, and their life. Man, you said blood oath, and then there's no blood in that oath. The terms. They promised to serve the group without question, accept any sacrifice, follow all commands instantly, and carry the organization secret to their graves. Yeah, I already know that. We read the freaking oath. The consequence. The oath ended with a prayer that God and his brothers would judge them if they ever broke their promises. Again, I knew all that stuff. I read the oath. It all starts so cool. Like, blood oath. Yeah, let's do a blood oath. Now, here's the problem with blood oath. I'm not crazy about the sight of blood, so it can't be a lot of blood. We can't do one of those supernatural TV show things where you just slice your hand open and then you shake hands and the blood mixes. I don't want any of that. I'm not getting an STD just because you guys can't keep it in your pants and you want to be a member of the Paramaniacs or whatever. Not happening. Kurt's clean. Like to keep it that way. Also, I don't want my hand split. Why on the TV show Supernatural do they always slice open the palm of their hand? That's gotta be really painful. That's gotta hurt. You can't cut like above your arm, like right below your elbow. Cut there. You're not grasping shit. You're not holding a knife or a gun, which you're gonna need to be against the palm of your hand, which is now gonna hurt a lot because you just cut open the palm of your hand. Think, people. If you're going to make blood oaths, I need you to think. All right, fun stuff. Are these guys still around? Nope. The leaders were put on trial and executed by the Serbian government in 1917. Oh, shit, that's a bad ending to a secret society. It officially and effectively ended the group. But there was still the Italian-American Black Hand. Have you guys figured out where this is going yet? You should. Now, this was not a single unified society, but a method of extortion used by criminals in the early 20th century immigrant neighborhoods. These extortion rackets faded away in the 1920s as the mafia families took over. Yeah, that's right. The Black Hands became the mafia. Bummer. Cool name. Tough and weird rituals, but nothing more. Again, everything starts so cool with this one. Black Hand. Yeah, it sounds awesome. Blood rituals. Yeah, dude, let's do this, man. You go into that black room. Like, I'll do it. That sounds cool, man. Oh, nothing is going to happen? It's going to get really fucking boring real quick? All right. No wonder they started extorting people. They were bored out of their minds. All righty, moving on. Let's go to the weirdly named the ancient noble order of the Gormagons. That's right. I said the word Gormagon. Now, this was a short-lived 18th century secret society formed by expelled Freemason Philip Wharton. Now, good old Freemason Philip Wharton got booted by the Freemasons and went, yeah, all right, fine. I'm going to create my own secret society. Wait. No, I won't. Forget I said that. It's a secret. Shut up, guys. You guys suck. So what did this weird guy do? Well, we don't know because it left no records, no accomplishments to indicate its true goal or purpose. Now, there were a couple of published articles from back in the day, and it's thought that the society's primary objective was to hold Freemason up to ridicule. That's right. The whole point of this entire club was to make fun of Freemasonry. During its brief existence, it was accused of being a Jacobite learning group, or Jacobite leaning group, not learning, Jacobite leaning group, perhaps because it was the first known grandmaster, or the ecumenical Volgi, as he was called. The first one was Andrew Michael Ramsay of Scotland, who was a Jacobite, of strong convictions. They also appeared to have been a charitable organization, at least according to its surviving bylaws. There are some surviving pendant badges bearing the insignia. The 1811 Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue was found. The word Gorgamon was humorously defined as this. The Gorgamon is a monster with 6 eyes, 3 mouths, 4 arms, 8 legs, 5 on one side, 3 on the other, 3 asses, 2 tarses, penises. Kurt here didn't know tarses meant penises. And a dick upon its back. The compiler Francis Gross gave the game away in his dictionary entry by explaining that it was a man on a horseback with a woman behind him. Oh, not a dick on his back. See, Kurt here, this is my fault. They did and a ... on its back, so I thought it was dick. I'm like, oh, ... that's dick. Nope, it's a vagina. So basically, a man on a horseback with a woman behind him. His 5 legs on one side description could merely mean that the woman was riding side saddle. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know. Public announcements for Gorgamon meetings explicitly stated that no Freemason could join, unless he first renounced his novel order and underwent a formal degradation. The advertisements joked that their gatherings featured no drawn sword at the door or ladder in a dark room, directly pointing fun at actual early Masonic initiation steps. It vanished completely by 1738, and it's ready to be brought back by me. Maybe. I don't know. I do like the idea of a Gormagon. I do like the idea of a Gormagon, like some weird cryptid type thing being the symbol of our secret society. Think about it. Now, hold on. Sorry. Someone's hitting me up. Sorry, I'm getting a text. Got to make sure it's not like something dire. All right. I know what you're thinking. Kurt, all these secret organizations are old and mostly dead. How about something fresh and new, huh? All right. Yeah. How about this one? An organization that has been rumored for years, but it wasn't until 2012 that they made themselves known. All right, a modern secret society. I can get behind that. That's cool. That sounds cool. All right, so who are they? They're called Cicada 3301. Now, they began recruiting from the public via internet-based puzzles, but unfortunately, they start on 4chan, so strike one against them, but let's keep going. Cicada 3301 are 3 sets of puzzles posted under the name 3301 online between 2012 and 2014. The first puzzle started January 4th, 2012, again on shitty 4chan, and ran for nearly a month. The second round began on January 4th, 2013. The third round was posted on Twitter, which also sucks, on January 4th, 2014. But get this, the third puzzle, to this day, remains unsolved. Now, apparently the intent was to recruit intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles to be solved. No new puzzle was done on January 4th, 2015, because again, it was January 4th, 2012, then 2013, then 2014, but nothing on January 4th, 2015. But a new clue was posted on January 5th, 2016. Now, Cicada 3301 posted their last verified, I'll put it, message in April of 2017. The puzzles focused heavily on data security, cryptography, stenography, and internet anonymity. It is listed as one of the top 5 eeriest unsolved mysteries of the internet by the Washington Post, which immediately meant I had to go down that rabbit hole. I was like, hold on, pause. I need to know, what were the other 4 eeriest unsolved mysteries of the internet? That sounds pretty messed up. Well, now we know about Cicada 3301, Washington Post. What else you got? Well, there's A858, which was a mysterious Reddit account that posted continuous encrypted blocks of text to its own subreddit, drawing thousands of armchair code breakers who are trying to figure out what the hell it meant. The next, what was it called? Eeriest unsolved mystery? The creator of Bitcoin. That's right, the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the anonymous person or group who authored the white paper that launched cryptocurrency. To this day, fun fact in case you don't know this, nobody to this day knows the true identity of the creator of Bitcoin. All right, that's pretty cool. Hey, secret societies, if you're listening to this, send me a Bitcoin. You send me a Bitcoin and I'll know you're real. Then I'm like, oh shit, that's a secret society. They sent me at least 1 Bitcoin. You can send me more if you want. And Satoshi Nakamoto, you can send me as many Bitcoins as you like. That is my my pledge to you. What's next in this weird list of eeriest unsolved mysteries? The Markovian Parallax Denegrit. The what, Kurt? Well, the Markovian Parallax Denegrit was a 1996 Usenet spam event where hundreds of identical bizarre messages containing random SAT words were posted, reaching an unprecedented level of nonsensical creepiness, they say. What? I don't know. How about this one? The unexplained bot spam networks, a deeply automated erratic account, such as early iterations of peculiar Twitter bots that post continuous streams of non sequiturs, mimicking human consciousness or hiding coded data feeds. The beginning of bots, basically. It's the beginning of AI bots, but back in the day, and it freaked people out. As well it should. How about this one? Let's see. The post, oh, sorry, I'm still on that last one. I apologize. The unexplained bot spam networks. They started hiding coded data feeds. The posts often mentioned in conjunction with other bizarre and or unsolved internet mysteries such as Sad Santa, Cicada 3301, and the Publius Enigma. Crap, now I gotta find out what the hell Sad Satan is. So I looked into that. Sad Satan is a horror game released in Microsoft Windows in 2015. The game was allegedly created by a dark web user operating under the pseudonym ZK. And that's when I went, hold on, I'm falling down too many rabbit holes. I need to come up for air. And I also think I also talked about Sad Satan on a very early episode. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't care. It's all math. I don't like math. Back to Cicada 3301. The goals of the society remain unknown, but it's believed to be involved in cryptography. Some think it's a CIA recruitment program. And I mean, a lot of people are convinced it's a CIA recruitment program. Others say it's even more diabolical, secret government stuff. Others think it's dumb math, and they're named Kurt, and they're doing this podcast episode, so they're like, moving on. Moving on to the Assassins. No, look, hold on. Let me pause. I'll give it the credit it deserves. Cicada 3301 seems very weird, very cool. I don't think it's technically a secret society, even though you can have members. That's like saying, people in the CIA are a secret society. Yeah, sure, technically, but not really. It's not my idea of a secret society. So, yeah, there's a bunch of nerds in their mom's basement that know math way better than I do. Sure, good on ya. That's why you're all rich in encrypted and in freaking Bitcoin and shit. Cryptocurrency, that's the word I was looking for. Get out of your mom's basement, buy a fucking mansion. But I don't think you can be in a secret society and really not even know it. Maybe you can. Maybe that's the future of secret societies. They're all online. You never know who another member is. It's cool. It's a cool thought. But it's kind of sad. I mean, it's kind of a bummer. If you are legitimately a member of Cicada 3301, who, again, some people think is part of the CIA or part of a secret government, and you never know it, or maybe you know it, but it just doesn't do anything for you, it's kind of a bummer. All right, with that, let's move on to the next one. The Assassins, the Cult of the Dagger. All right, you telling me Assassin's Cult of the Dagger isn't a great video game? Sure, you got to slide down some rooftops, but boy, is it fun. Wait, what? It's a secret society? Okay, let's find out together. The Assassins were an 11th century radical Shia sect specialized in political assassinations across Persia and Syria. Kind of is like the video game. Instilling fear in the rulers through stealthy killings. It is the fucking video game. The Assassins were founded by Hassan-i-Sabah. The state was formed in 1090. Again, another man, the 10s. You guys had your secret societies down. You want to know, like, when was a good year or a good millennia for secret societies? It's the 10s. After the capture of Alumet Castle in the Alborz mountain range of Persia, which served as the Assassins' headquarters. They had a freaking castle? Now, this is a secret society. Sure, they'll kill me before I can get anywhere near it, but what a fucking secret society. Okay, over the course of nearly 200 years, the Assassins, the Cult of the Dagger, killed hundreds, including the ruler of Jerusalem, several Muslim and Christian leaders. That's insane. Are they still around? Nope. not really. They were ultimately destroyed by the Mongols. Boom, boom. That's a bummer. Their legacy endures in history and pop culture, inspiring countless stories of their mysterious methods, discipline, and covert influence on medieval politics. It's a cool one. Couldn't find anything else about the rituals, what happened in that castle. Were they all ninjas? Like, is it the video game Assassin's Creed? Like, what is going on? I can't find anything else about them. So what's next? Well, it was at this point I was thinking, Kurt, you are burning through secret societies. So far, most of them pretty lame. Couple cool ones. Never be a member of, but couple of cool ones. So let's keep on keeping on. How about the carbonari, which is my favorite pasta dish at Isabella's in Burbank. The carbonari were formed in 19th century Italy, this secret network of charcoal burners. Yes, let me repeat that. This secret network of charcoal burners used the symbolism of their trade to organize nationalist revolutions against foreign and absolute rule. They're not still around, but how bad do things have to get before the charcoal burners start revolting? Nothing about rituals, nothing about anything else, so kind of secret. I'll give them that. Let's see. You know why it's secret? They wrote everything down in charcoal. It all just, someone picked up paper and wiped it all away. You can't have lengthy documents written in charcoal. When you roll them up, it's all just going to get smudged. Let's see. There's the Tazacos, which is the traditional Basque gastronomic society in northern Spain. I don't like this one. Already, I don't like this one. The private members-only cooking club began as a secret male-only escape to cook and socialize outside the home. Kurt here, I'm guessing that's a code for being gay. Honestly, like, if it's just men that wanted to cook, they would just cook. There's never been a time where they're like, is that a guy cooking? Oh, we got to kill that dude. No, it's not a thing. You don't need a secret society so you can cook with other dudes. There was something gay going on. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm not secret society kink shaming. I need to get to a big, bad secret society because we're at a 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Let's see. Le Cercle, spelled with an E instead of an I, founded during the 1950s. This elite and intensely private Cold War group brought together high-ranking international politicians and intelligence figures to coordinate anti-communist strategies. Now, started cool, got lame really quick. Here we go. Here's the one. Here is the secret society, the Bilderberg. Let's get into it. The first Bilderberg meeting was in 1954. It was held at the Hotel de Bilderberg in the Netherlands, hence why they're called the Bilderbergs, convened by Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands. It was a gathering of powerful politicians from North America and Europe designed to foster warmer relations between the two continents and fear of growing anti-Americanism in Europe. Or was it? In case you don't know, every year, up to 150 leading politicians, billionaires, and businessmen gather in a ski resort in Switzerland for 4 days. This happens to this day. Started in 1954. Still happens every year. They convene for 4 days to discuss the future of the world. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is secret society evil shit. Previous attendees of the group are said to have included Bill Clinton, Peter Thiel, Prince Charles, Peter Mandelson. You know what? At this point, just start Margaret Thatcher. Just start naming a politician. Dozens of company CEOs, billionaires, the biggest dickholes on the planet all meet up for 4 days in a ski resort in Switzerland. Like I said, the one that happened in 1954 was under the group's leadership of Henry Kissinger. Conspiracy theorists have accused it of being everything from deliberately engineering the credit crunch, the crashes of Wall Streets, the implosion of societies and monies and countries and armies and you name it. There's some that even think that because of the Bilderbergs, 80% of the world's population at one time or another since 1954 has been affected, manipulated, and even killed. It's New World Order crap is what I'm saying. When anybody talks about the New World Order now online, even tinfoil hat people, they're talking about the Bilderberg. It's a secret society. We don't know what they're talking about. Names of attendees are not released before the conference. Meetings are closed to the public and to the media. No press releases are ever issued. They never tell what they were talking about. And a lot of the members of the Bilderberg meetings buy bunkers after Bilderberg meetings. That can't be good, right? Now, grain of salt that, but it seems to be true. Conspiracy theorists have, maybe getting a little bit overexcited, but they have a point. And that's not coming from me. That's coming from Professor Andrew Kakabsky, sure, why not? Kakabsky, who is the co-author of a new book, Bilderberg People. He said the group has genuine power that far outranks the World Economic Forum, which meets in Davos. He argues, and they also have no transparency. It's easy to see why people are worried about the influence of the Bilderberg. Conspiracy theorists claim the group acts as a shadowy shadow government or a cabal orchestrating a new world economic manipulation. Accusations often include engineering financial crises, directing central banks, or settling global markets behind closed doors. They are the puppet masters. Claims allege that the group selects political candidates and controls mainstream media narratives. That needs to be repeated. A lot of people, a lot of conspiracy theorists think, I'm breaking off from what he was saying for a second. A lot of the conspiracy theorists point to Tony Blair as proof that they can choose the next political candidate. Some people think Trump. I'm not going to say that. He goes on to say, its use of the Chatham House rule, blocking attendees from sharing what happens in meetings, gives the group an air of mystery. Journalists are barred from reporting on it. Meeting minutes are not released. So how do you get an invite to a Bilderberg meeting? Well, Bilderberg attendees are selected by a dedicated international committee. Every year, about 120 to 140 people are invited, with about 2/3 coming from Europe and 1/3 from North America. The Washington Post reports that the backgrounds in the government and politics are the most common. Attendees from fields like academia, finance, and media have also been included. The level of secrecy surrounding the Bilderberg meetings has given rise to many rumors, including unproven theories that Bilderberg attendees are behind the creation of the European Union, the invasion of Iraq, and the bombing of Serbia. Reports the New York Times. Conspiracy theorists have painted the group as plotting a new world order. Their official website maintains, thanks to the private nature of the meeting, the participants take part as individuals rather than in any official capacity, and hence are not bound by the conventions of their office or the pre-agreed upon positions. What that means is they get the most important people in politics, business, billionaires, and say, you have the right to be here and you don't have to abide by your country's government, your country's politics, the world's politics. It's a free-thinking place, and that is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And let's see. Let me continue on with the Bilderberg. Hold on. Participants discuss global issues under the Chatham House rule, like I said. Discussions cannot reveal sources. The group secrecy, combined with the extraordinary influence of its participants, has made it a focal point of conspiracy theories about global government and the elite manipulation of the world. That deserves, if anything on this episode deserves one of those, it's that. The manipulation, the elite manipulation of the world. Ah, man, even with evil billionaires and politicians, it still sounds kind of boring. There's no like hunting people for sport, no buying and selling families, no betting on how quickly poor people will die. Maybe, I'm trying to think of the most fucked up shit possible, and there's a chance that they do actually do all of those things at the Bilderberg meetings. That is insane. I'm telling you, I give up. The secret society that I was trying to find turns out to be, again, a bunch of old white people just fucking around with people's lives because it's fun to them. That is essentially what Bilderberg is doing. Theoretically. I'm not saying it. I'm just repeating what others have said online. So Bilderberg, no need to come hunt me. I'm very easy to find. You don't have to hunt me. Also, can't really run that fast. So I'd be an easy target. I'd be boring. You got better people to hunt. Bilderberg, do not send me an invite. Because I'll tell you right now, you send me an invite and I go there and you guys start talking about like, hey, let's overthrow Iran this month and let's see if we can get away with it. I'm telling the world. I don't care. I don't care if you have me sign an NDA. I'm telling the world. With that, almost 2 hours into the episode, I give up. I know there are secret societies out there, but they are so secret that I can't find them yet. I can't find them yet. Let me throw that in there. I can't find them yet. All right, let me ask the question. I'm going to ask, which extinct secret society are we taking over? Because if they're still going, like I said, they'll have to contact me to stop me, and they won't be so secret anymore. Are we talking the Priory of Sion? If they're truly fake, then no one can stop me from starting it back up. And if they are still going, even though they're fake, then we're now the obedient Priory of Sion, or the New Age Priory of Zion, or the newfangled Priory of Zion. We can add words to it. We figured that out. We found that out. Then there's also that the ancient noble order of the Gormagons. I wouldn't mind a weird name fraternal order for us. So you guys tell me, which is the secret society that we're starting? Like I said, I'll make rings. And then whenever you see me, I'll teach you, or you can teach me a funky handshake, and then I'll hand you a ring. And then, whenever you see anybody wearing a ring out and about, you can be like, oh, I know that guy. He's part of the newfangled Kurt's not so ancient noble order of the Gormagons over there. Hey, my guy. Like, I'm into this. I dig the idea of a secret society. We just got to figure out which one. Once again, I'm your host, Kurt Sandvik, and this has been another edition of Paranormal Almanac. You might control the world, but you don't control Paranormal Almanac, Bilderberg. In a minute, I'm going to say Bilderberg sucks, and, Gerber look off.